Hi, so I've got everything set back up now. I have got all my card decks and everything ready. Genesis is the first scenario, that's the sitting here in front of me. And got the desert set up according to the instructions here that tell me how to set the desert up. And just under that there's a little bit of story about what's going on, so I was going to read that. So, the light stabs through your eyelids like a burning lance. You pull yourself awake, brushing sand off your everything as you stare blindly into the burning gold. After a while your vision finally clears and you see what seems to be an endless sea of dunes under a bright blue sky. The stark and blasted remains of trees and other plants cling to patches of clay like soil. Shimmering in the heat, what might be the remains of buildings or just spurs of rock lie half buried here and there in the sand. Whatever this place is now, you feel that it was once the home to a mighty civilization. But where are you? How did you get here? You search your memory and find nothing. You're already sweating as the sun climbs up towards its zenith. Things promise to get much worse if you can't find water soon. After that, clearly you'll find some way to escape the desert, but how will you even determine where you are, let alone how to find safety? Okay. So that's the desert story, which will apply to scenario 1 and 2, and that's important because the game, even though it's a campaign and there's linked stories, is not a traditional campaign where your characters are persistent. So you will start with a new character in each story, so the scenarios are linked thematically. You might be an overrunning arc of being able to work out a story, but you don't use the same character. So I'm going to start by assigning myself a character and just a few other bits. So solo game, I start with 12 stamina and I start with the water and a food as per the instructions, which I'm fairly certain is right. Yeah, 12 stamina for one player. And I'm going to get myself a character, so I've got these 12 cards. There are, according to the game box, 36 different characters, and what I think I've worked out that means is actually there's 6 packs of 6, so you just randomly get 2 packs of 6 characters in there, which means that if I get like one person, I'm definitely going to have 5 other people that are part of that pack as well, not just randomly shoved in characters. Right, so what I get to do here is I get to deal myself 4 and pick one. So this is the first time I'm looking at a lot of these guys. So I've got Layla Negan, which is wildlife photographer. So she can choose an adjacent square of the wildlife icon and no features, but place the feature token on it. Okay. So what that means she can do is if you go out and find tiles with icons on, you put one of these tokens down on it. Now, these tokens correspond to those icons, and one of those is a wildlife one. The wildlife token goes on the board, you can go and you can gather from it, but once it's gone, that's just a token, it's been used up. But what she can do is place another token on it, which means that she can make lots more creatures appear and hunt, but I haven't had much luck hunting down creatures, so I don't know whether I want to go for her. So this guy, Grugru, he's a wild man. He's got a stick. His ability is when you draw a threat card, roll a die on a 4 to 12, don't draw a threat card. Okay, so the threat cards are a deck here, which can sometimes be drawn from the night card deck, which I'll talk about later. I've got Anna Kerem, who's a painter. So at the start of your turn, gain a stamina equal to the stamina cost of your space. Oh, that's okay. Then allow any other survivors in your space to also gain that amount of stamina. Right. So she's good if you've got other players, but she sounds good anyway, because it means okay. And the sushi chef, Masaki Satomura. You may spend meat as if it were food. Oh, you may allow other survivors in your space to move. Okay, so they've both got co-op-y type abilities on them, and obviously I'm playing solo, so that kind of suggests they're less valuable. But I'm tempted by one of either the Sushi Chef or the Painter. The Painter's ability means that if you when you start, if you're standing on a certain type of space, you gain stamina equal to that. Now, what that means is there's a guide in the desert reference sheet, and that tells you that to move you need to spend 1 stamina for sand, 1 for grass, 2 for dunes, and 3 for mountains. So your stamina on your board here, you start off and you start with 12, and every action you do costs a stamina, except for moving, which costs stamina equal to the terrain type. So here I'm surrounded by dunes in these three hexes, which means if I go there it's going to cost 2 stamina. But it also means that at the start of my next turn after a night phase, I will gain 2 stamina, which means that even if I'm on a random sand, I'm going to get 1 every turn, and that's really good because that means there's an extra action every time. So I'm really tempted to go for her. The other one that means that I can eat meat as if it were food, that's when you kill wildlife or find bits of meat around, you can't just eat meat, you've got to cook it on the campfire. So campfires can let you cook, but this guy will let you bypass that because you can just eat raw meat. So he's giving you some action economy, and she's giving you some action economy, which I quite like. The threat card stuff is situational, and I may not even get told to draw a threat card ever, so I'm not sure about that one. And I don't really fancy putting extra wildlife down because I've had a game, chasing a camel around a board, and that wasn't particularly fun. So I don't want to keep on putting down wildlife. So I'm going to go for one of these two, and I think what I'm going to do is go for the Painter. So I'm going to be Anna Kerim. So that means that I get extra stamina. Now, what I can do at any point, I can stop, go to a night phase. So it's currently daytime. I can go to a night phase and I can draw a night card. Night cards always give you stamina back, but they do the bad things. So in a co-op game where you draw, say Pandemic, you draw from I can't remember what it's called, but you draw from the deck that escalates the infections and stuff. This is similar. It's going to mean that I get thirsty or I get hungry or something, and so I'll have to spend food, or I could get wounded if I don't have the food, and that sort of stuff. And then after that, I gain my my stamina back, and it's at least 6, but it could be more. But then for me, it'll be at least 7 because I'll get my Painter stamina back. Okay, so the other thing I get at the start of the game is I get projects. Now the project deck is a set of cards that are like blueprints for items that you can craft. So I've got a wooden shield, a wooden staff, and flint. To show you one of them. The cards give you a cost of items. So this is 1 stone to build, and the wooden staff is 1 wood to build, and the wooden shield is 2 wood to build. And they turn into items. If I decide to craft a wooden shield, it's got 92 on it. That means I'd draw 92 from the item deck, and I would have a wooden shield, and then that shield would tell me what it does. So I don't know what it does right now. In multiplayer games, everyone gets, I think for 4 and 3, you get 1 project. But as soon as you've built the project, you put it down, face down on the table, and then anyone can build it. So you start to build up a set of collective blueprint knowledge as you go, and as you build one, you draw another project, so you can keep bringing those in. Just a note on these and uniqueness. The numbers in the desert reference say always take cards 89 to 99, and that's 10 projects. Now, in the other game I played, which is also started in the desert, it was the same cards 89 to 99, but the items I'm pretty sure were different. Like I didn't see any of these ones, and we had a knife that was made out of stone rather than the staff made of wood. So even though the items and cards have the same numbers on them, I think in different decks, in different boxes, of Discover, they can actually be different. So I've got my stuff ready. I'm in a desert. I don't know why I'm here, and I'm starting a scenario. Now, the way that you win the game is by following through the scenario. Eventually, at some point in the scenario cards that you follow, you're going to get, this is how you win. Now, to start, I've got stage 1 of scenario 1, and this has got two cards, so hopefully that back card there is going to tell me how I win. But the first card has got a little bit of story on it and telling me my first objective. So it's July 1975, and the card says, carefully searching your new campsite, you find a letter pinned to a nearby tree just waiting for you to find and read it. How much longer can I survive in this forsaken land? I have a plan for escape, taking my supplies and heading out tomorrow. Emmanuel Dixon. There's someone else here, and he has a plan for escape. The letter is dated only 2 days ago. If you hurry, you may be able to find Dixon and escape with him. And it says, after survivor investigates landmark 4, advance to stage 2. So that means I need to go have a look around the map and try and find something called a landmark with a number 4 on it, and that will let me, once I explore that landmark, move on to the next card. So landmarks are little features on the board. They could be like trees or caves and things that you can go and explore. Exploring is an action that takes stamina, and on the tile, when we find one, you'll see there's a number on it, and that's you take the matching card from this deck here, the exploration deck. So before you start a game, you sort all these decks into numerical order, so it's easy to go and find the cards you want. And the bag basically says don't look at any of the stuff, so I haven't looked at any of these cards, so I don't know what's on them. Okay, so I'm going to start. I'm ready to start. I need to find landmark 4, but I want to kind of get some stuff going first. Now I've got food. This is like kebab on a stick thing is food, and this is water. So I've got fresh water. I've got 1 food. I'm fully healthy, and I've got 12 stamina. So I don't particularly want to go marching through dunes. It's going to take up 2 stamina. So I'm going to head to this square. Sorry, this hex, and that's going to take 1 stamina, so I'm going to go into 11, and then I'm going to flip over that tile which is called scouting, so that's going to take me down another stamina. And okay, so reveal this tile, and when you flip a tile, any symbols on there, you then put a matching resource token on. So my desert resources, I've got this wildlife one, so if that could be seen there, so it's got this little paw print, and there's a paw print just here on the board, so I put that on that hex. And on the back there'll be something. You could just find meat there, you could find a skin, or you could find something you need to fight, because it could be a slightly bigger creature that I actually have to work to kill. So I could go there, but there's all these dunes here, so I'm thinking I don't really want to march through dunes again. So if I go up here and scout this tile, and let's see what we've got here. So that was another 2 stamina, 1 for moving and 1 for scouting, so it's taking me down to 8. And here I've got a rock. Right. So again, the rock symbol matches the symbol on the board. And I haven't looked at that, I promise, so I don't know what's on there, but I'm going to go and grab that rock. So another 2 moves to get me there. Again, these are all just sand, so I can grab that, and on the back there is a rock. So I've got a piece of rock. Now I can now, if I want, make a flint for another stamina. Now the reason why I can pick that rock up is the move action is actually a move and gather. So you can choose to stand where you are and gather, but if you move onto a space and there's something there, you can gather it at the same time, so you can pick it up. So that's cool. So now I've got a clear path with no dunes down to the wildlife, so I'm going to head there. So that's 2 more stamina, so I'm down to 6, and then I'll flip over this. And this is, what is that? That is, and it's creature 65, so it's a camel. Well, it looks like a camel, so I put that in. And then for my monster creature deck here, I'll take card 65. And right, so yeah, it's a wild camel. It says there's precisely 0 chance you can tame this beast to ride. Now, because I flipped over a tile and it's got a monster on, I instantly fight it. So it's not going to take me a stamina to have a fight, I think. So here it is, the wild camel. There's a few different numbers on the creatures. The top grey one there is its resilience. and then the red one underneath it is its attack power, which is a blank for this because it's just not going to fight me. And then the green number 2 is its health. And then in the box there's a reward, which is to get 2 meat and 2 pelts. So the meat will need cooking to become food, and then pelts can be used presumably to craft things, although I don't have a recipe to use for that yet. So the way that you fight is you get 2 dice. So I roll these guys, and the grey one needs to match or equal the grey number on the card to deal damage, and then the red one, if it is greater than or equal to the red number, deals damage back to me. So there's no red number on that card, so the camel can't hurt me, but I roll both dice anyway, and I get a 4, so I haven't damaged the guy, but I get a 6. He can't hurt me, so what happens there is I don't damage him, he doesn't damage me, and that's the end of the fight. Now he's going to run away. So the reason why you still roll the red die is because the red die, the number 6 there, relates to a direction. There's a compass up in this area of the board, and the 5 to 6 is north, northeast. Oh, it doesn't work like that because there's 6 of them. Anyway, it's going down that way, so it's going to run onto these dunes. Now I can follow the camel onto the dunes, but I need to do 2 damage to it, and I can't deal 2 damage at once, which means if I go on there and do damage him, it's still going to run away again. I've got 6 stamina left. Do I go after the camel? I don't really need meat. I've got food cooked. So I'm not going to go chasing the camel. Okay, so I'm hoping that, but the thing, the campfire, well, the flint says I can build a fire, and I've got a rock. So that's sort of, I reckon that I can carry on. Oh yeah, so when I rest for the night, if I'm at a campfire, there's less bad things that can happen. It's sort of, they'll be on the card, it will say if you're at a campfire, then you know, don't do this, but if you aren't, then you can spawn monsters and things like that. So I'm going to try and use my flint to see what it does in a bit, but first I'm just going to go, okay, I'll move and I'll scout this tile, and here, this has got quite a few things on it. So I've got a wood, and I've got a water pump symbol, and I've got another wildlife. Okay, I don't have any wood, so I'm not going to chase after the wood. So that was, oh sorry, so 1 to scout. Hang on, I was here, wasn't I? So I've gone there for 5, I've gone there for, scouted for 4, I've gone there for 3, so that puts me there for, I've got 2 stamina left. And I get, oh, I've got 2 wood. Okay, oh, okay, so I've got enough wood now to build a wooden staff or a shield, and I've got flint to build. Right, I'm going to build a flint using this rock. So I trade this rock in, so I'll just go back to over here, discard it, and it's project built. So the project comes down, face down on the table. That's done. But I can build a flint, which is item 94. So from the item deck now, I can pull out item 94, and it's going to be a flint, and it's going to say what I can do with it. So the flint is for 1 stamina. I can discard the flint and spend a wood to place a fire token in your space. Okay, so I can build a campfire with 1 wood and using this card up. So that's cool. I've made a project, so I can draw another project card, and okay, this is a weapon that needs pelts, animal skin, and it's a sling. So I've got a project to build a sling with animal skin now, so there's a use for that. So I could go after that camel now and build myself a sling if I wanted to, but I've got 2 stamina left. If I go into this lake here and get some water, that was water on that pump, and then I'll discard the flint, discard a wood. So this wood has got 2 on it. If I discard it, there's a common pool of items, so I can grab another wood out there. So I use 1 wood, discard my flint, and I'll just go back into the iron deck, and build a fire. So I can build a desert. Oh no, fires are. Yeah, so I built a fire here. So I've got a lit campfire where I am. So that was a move, gather, and then use that to build some down to 0 stamina. And that's my first turn finished. So now, after my turn, I go to a night phase. So I draw from this deck. There's a night deck, bigger cards, and they go. There's 4 blue ones, and they go to the red ones. So I guess that means red is bad, and so they're going to get worse if I stay the longer I stay. So let's look at the first night card. So we got hunger. Each survivor spends a food or suffers a hunger damage. So I've got a food, spend it, so I don't take that hunger damage. Now sleep. Each survivor gains 8 stamina. So I've got 8 stamina back. That's quite nice. Okay. So 8 stamina back. Windstorm. Place a wood feature token from the supply on each space with a wood icon. So that means that there's been a storm and more wood has been scattered. So that wood that I collected from the board, there's a new feature token gone back down, and it's also got on it peril. If I'm not at a fire, the tribe leader draws a threat card. So I'm the tribe leader because I'm the only person, but I am at a campfire. So as I said, if I wasn't at a campfire there, I would have had to draw on a threat card, but avoided. So that's the night phase done. And now I'm back onto my next day phase, and it will carry on like this until I find and explore number 4. So this turn I'm going to what about if I get some more wood and build that? Well, actually, first thing I'll do is I'm going to build a wooden staff because so I'm on a grassy area, and that means I can gain 1 stamina from the painter's ability, so 9 stamina. Then I'll use that to spend this wood and make myself a wooden staff. So the wooden staff is going to go down as a completed project, so I can always build those now. And it's number 91, so item 91. I didn't see that. Is the wooden staff. During combat, you may reroll your die. Okay, so not bad, a reroll ability. And there's no discard or anything there, so that is as a built item now. Yeah, so there is an item limit, a carry limit of 10 things. Built items, this stuff count, and there's sort of, you can get containers that you can put stuff in that mean you can carry more, but I don't know if I've seen one of those before. And the tiles that have 2 things on it, I had that wood that had 2. That does actually only count as 1 thing, even though there's 2 wood on it. So my carry limit is 10, but I'm at 3. I draw a new project card because I've just finished the wood. And this is a trap. So it says defense on it. I need 2 wood, and I can build a trap. The picture is like of a rock type of falling down trap thing. So that's another project that I've got. Right. And I go back into this wood area and collect that wood, so there's another stamina down. And then I'll scout this tile. Okay. Well, I don't have any food, and this tree thing here looks like I can get some food from it because it's got the little food symbol. And I've got another rock there. Now, yeah, okay. There's this little icon on the board here. It's like a little spade. You probably can't see it too well. The rules say those icons are on the board and they can interact with stuff, but as they are, they don't do anything. So I guess maybe some characters can do stuff if there's that icon on the board, or maybe a scenario has it, but I don't know. They're just a bit of a mystery for now. Okay, so I'm moving to this one here, which has got a food and gain a food. So I've got food and I've got water, so I'm happy about that. And I'm trying to find number 4. Do these higher numbers mean something? I don't know. Maybe they do, so I'm going to go check it out. So 1, 2, 3, to flip that. Okay, there's an explore thing there, but it's explore number 1. Let me move down. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Was it? So I've got 2 stamina left. Ah, well, that's the thing, isn't it? Now I can't get back to a campfire. I can't build one. Oh, okay, and there's a foodie thing here. So what I'm just going to do is I'm going to head towards. Well, because I'm not at a campfire, if threats spawn monsters, maybe I want the extra stamina, so I'm not going to spend the stamina. I've got it there waiting. I'll keep hold of it and hope that I can use it next turn. So, night phase. So thirst, each survivor spends 1 water or suffers a damage. I've got water to spend, so that's good. Deep sleep. Each survivor at a fire gains 9 stamina. Each other survivor gains 7. Okay, so there, if I was at a campfire, that would have been nicer. But I got up to 9. And inspiration. The tribe leader draws 1 project card. Oh, nice. Okay, so I draw a project card. And that project is a backpack. And the backpack says container, and it needs 2 skins to make. And patrol. Move each monster token 2 spaces towards the nearest survivor. If there are no normal monster tokens on the map, spawn 1 monster token at the lowest numbered landmark. Okay, so I've got that camel, which I think counts as a monster, so I probably have to move that. Sorry about this, I'm going to have to check the rule. Monsters. Some cards spawn monsters. Oh, I don't know. No, that's an enemy. That's an enemy. So it's not a monster, it's an enemy. So if there's no monsters, then spawn 1 monster token at the lowest numbered landmark. So I'm spawning a monster at this beehive thing here. So monster token goes there. Now the monster tokens will stay face down until they're explored. Now so I was going to head there. I just don't think I'm ready to fight a monster yet, so I'm going to have to run. I don't need number 1 anyway, but I wanted to explore it. Okay, so that was the second night done. I gain a stamina for the painter's ability, so I'm back at 10, and I'm going to book it. I think, what do I do here? I want to head back to the camel, because I can build that backpack with a camel skin, and I can get some meat and stuff. So okay, I'm going to do that. So I've got 10 stamina. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. I'm going to do a scout on that. So that's 4. And there's bugger all there. Put a meat token, food token there. So if that was, it was 4 stamina to do that, wasn't it? So down to 6. And then I'm going to go 7. No, sorry, not 7, 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because he's on a June, so that cost me 5, so that's a 1. And moving in with him will mean I attack. So roll, and I got 11, 11. So he can't hurt me, but I hurt him. So I put a damage on the camel. That's not a damage, that's a skin. I put a damage on the camel, and then he runs to 11, which is this way, and I follow him in. No, I'm going to campfire, it doesn't matter. Right, so I follow him in and roll again, and I got a 1 and a 7, so I'm going to use that, my staff to re-roll. And I got 2 and 1. Okay, well, so that was no good. He ran away. I'm stuck here, and oh wait, no, I followed him, so that put me down to 0. Okay, so 0 stamina, in the middle of nowhere, next to a camel, turn over, night phase. Right. First, each survivor spends 1 water or suffers a damage. I've still got water, so spend that. Each survivor gains 8 stamina, so it's just standard 8, and I'll put my 1 on for my square as well. Rock slide. So place a rock feature token from the supply on each space with the rock icon and no feature token. So again, that's like replenishing these symbols on the board. And then patrol. Move each monster 2 spaces towards the nearest survivor. If there are no survivors, if there are no normals, yes, so there's a monster, it's going to move towards me, so 1, 2. Okay. Now, I'm going to go after the camel. So move into that square, takes me 1. Roll 5 and 9, but I can use my stick. 5 and 12, camel goes to 12, which is that way. And move again, so 7. Out. 8 and 4. Okay, so there we go. So I've damaged the camel dies, and I get 2 meat and 2 pelts. Okay. So bear in mind, if I had the sushi chef, I could have eaten the meat raw and not needed to cook it. So 2 raw meats, 2 pelts, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 items. Camel's deed. And I've got 7 stamina left. So should I head back to the campfire and cook? I think that's what I'll do. Head back to the campfire. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, cook. We'll turn both of those in. If I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 9. Okay, so we go 1, 2, and then 3 to reveal this. Oh, okay. There's another feature there, number 20. I'm looking for number 4, but 20 could have some interesting stuff. So that was 1, 2, 3. So down to 4. And then I'm going to go hit the campfire up. So there's 2 moves to get there. 1 to cook, so 1, 2, 3. Cook will flip both of these meats over to cook, because you can do as many as you want with a cook. And I'm sitting at the campfire. I'll tell you what I'll do. I will craft the backpack with the 2 pelts. So that's now permanently available. Card 90. Yeah, I'm fairly sure that these crafting items are totally different to the ones I got in my first game. That just right, backpack. You can carry 6 resources on this card. Great. So backpack counts as one thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, that's awesome. So I'm only carrying 2 things now instead of however many. That's really, really cool. Okay, so that's again end of my turn. Onto night phase. Ooh, okay. Hunger. Each survivor either spends 1 food or suffers 1 health. Well, I've got quite a lot of food, so happy with that. Oh, I spent those pelts, didn't I? Cheat. Right, get rid of the pelts. Right, I ate a food. And then light sleep. So I gain 7 stamina for light sleep, and then I'll gain an extra 1 for the artist. Painter, sorry. Eventful night. Each survivor not at a fire draws a threat card. I'm at a fire, so no threat card, and that's the blues done through. Now the night cards are all red. Right, okay. I'm going to go and check out this feature. So that's on the June. So 1, 2, 3, 4 to get there. Down to 4, and then another 1 to do the explore. So explore card number 20. Let's see what we got. Okay, it's a gigantic statue. All that remains of the statue are its feet, a nearby head, and an inscription written in hieroglyphs. Even the feet are bigger than you. Roll a die. On a 1 to 6, resolve exploration card 21. On a 7 or 12, resolve exploration card 23. Okay. So I roll. Where are the dice? Okay. I got a 4. So it says resolve number 21. So I did 20. can resolve number 21 now. So this is, it's treasure, no effect. Ah! A burial mask. At the statue's feet you find gold mask of a young woman with a slender beard, an Egyptian king. Wait. Okay, fine. It says treasure, and it says no effect. So I found a useless burial mask. Right. Well, if I've got that, I wonder if... So I guess I could explore there again and try and get the other dice roll. See what else I can find. Yeah, okay, so I'll explore again. So I need to do number 20. Or can I only... I don't know if I can explore again. Let's have a look. Scout, craft, investigate. So it's investigate. Some spaces contain landmarks, which are points of interest and survivor to explore. The survivor is in the same space as a landmark. That player can perform an investigate action to resolve the exploration card matching that landmark's number. The survivor keeps the item if they find it. Yeah, so I think I can, so I'm going to do that again. I'm standing here now. Oh wait, no, I'm doing it. So I resolved card 20, and that was roll a die. Oh yeah, so it's there. So on a 1 to 6, so I want to get 7 or higher to go for the other card. I've got 11, right, so I can do it again. Let's have another look around the statue, and I find card 23. So there's an ancient inscription. If you have one or more treasure items, you may resolve exploration card 3. Okay, so this has allowed me, because I've got the treasure burial mask, I can now do number 3. So number 3 is stone tablet. The stone tablet lies on the trestle table. It is engraved with text in several languages, enabling translation. When you would resolve a card that has the word hieroglyphs, you may instead resolve the card 2 numbers higher. Right, so that means that now I've got this tablet, I can translate hieroglyphs, and it's saying that if a card has got hieroglyphs on it, I resolve the card 2 numbers higher. So the giant statue says inscriptions written in hieroglyphs. Right, I'm going to do it again. So if I explore now again, I roll a die. Oh, but hang on. 2 numbers higher is from 21 is 23. That's weird. Okay, so if I roll again, if I get 7 or higher, I got 8, that means that I can now look at card 25, right? So this says resolve exploration card 23. The stone tablet says I can resolve a card 2 numbers higher instead. The giant statue has got hieroglyphs on it, so I can look at card 25, I think. So let's have a look at card 25. The thing with that one was that if I'd got... oh, but hang on. Wait. If you get the lower number, then you can do 23. And if you do 23, then it says resolve card 3. And if you resolve card 3, and you can do 2 numbers... Oh no, because that one doesn't have a hieroglyph on it. Yeah, okay, so ignore that. 25 is a Kapesh. Ah, it's a weapon. When you deal damage in combat, deal +1 damage. Yes, okay, that's really cool. So now I can do 2 damage if I manage damage with a Kapesh. There it is. That is that's mirrored, isn't it? You can't even read stuff on there. And this doesn't focus. Oh, there we go. Focused. Right. So cool. I've got a wooden staff that lets me re-roll. I've got a Kapesh. I've got this useless mask. I'm getting loads of stuff, right? I think I get to keep that as well because that lets me increase. If I find more hieroglyphs, I can translate them. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 items. Ancient inscription goes back in the deck. The giant statue goes back in the deck. Well, that was an eventful turn. 20, 22, 23. Oh god, I can't keep track. I didn't keep track of my stamina. I'm just going to put it down to 0 and assume that that's what I want. So, okay. Now I'm going to go back to a night. So I'm still looking for feature landmark number 4. Right, night time. Each survivor discards the water. Okay. I don't have any water. But this one's different because it doesn't say I suffer any damage. Hunger. Each survivor either spends 1 food or suffers a damage. Well, I've got a food, so cool. So really I need to work on finding some water again now. Sleep. So each survivor gains 8 stamina. And the last thing on here says bad luck. Each survivor not at a fire draws a threat card. Damn it. If all survivors are at a fire, the tribe leader draws a threat card. Okay, so I am... Oh, hang on. Did it say that on the last one? Because oh, that's a bit... Alright, I don't know. Because that means... Because I'm... Well, I don't know. Never mind. Threat card. Drawn to water. The creatures here need water as much as you do. Move the monster token nearest to a water source to that water source. So he just goes. Oh, he just goes to here. Yeah. So that's what it did. Just move the monster to the water. Okay. Good. Right. Next day, 8 stamina. I'm on the Junie Dunes, which means I gain 2 stamina. Thank you. So I'm on 10, and I'm going to go do some more exploring. So let's just go here and flip this. Fortunately, I can't reach any of this stuff now. Right, so that's a wood over there, but again, not number 4, which is what I'm after. So not too fussed. So that was 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to flip this 2 as well. So number 4 faction. 4 stamina. That's there's like a crashed helicopter there. That's number 14. Yeah, it's the crashed helicopter. So that was 4. Now, do I go exploring the crashed helicopter or not? Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I will. Okay, so number 14. Just move my stamina down for that. 14. Maybe I'll find some hieroglyphs on the helicopter. So, oh yeah, I need water and food and okay. So this helicopter is emblazoned with a white skull insignia. Judging by the broken rotor blades, it's never flying again. Roll a die. Okay. I got a 1. It says on a 10 to a 12, resolve either of those. What? Oh, it says you can do either 56 or 15. Or on a 1 to 9, resolve number 15. Okay, so if I got 10 or 12, okay, so 15. Let's do 15. So as I said, I don't really want to sit there rolling and hoping to get a 10 or 12. I got a bullwhip. Okay. You may reroll 1 die in combat. And also... so you can use the whip to gather things from adjacent spaces. So it's using 1 stamina to like whip a bit of wood and bring it towards you. So I've got another item there. Okay, loads of stuff. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Still good for my item limit. I'm not gonna carry on searching there. Right. So 5. I'm gonna go 2 more and then flip that one. So that's 3 more stamina. So that does me down to 2. Oh, I found it. I found number 4. Here it is. Okay. It looks like a scary cave, right? So I've got a rock and a wildlife to put down there as well. Okay, I'm chasing down this thing, but I'm slightly nervous that I don't have any water now. That's going to start coming to bite me. Where that came from. I just picked that. I just grabbed that, didn't I? No, I didn't. I don't know. I've got a sling. I've got a shield. I could build a shield. Okay. I've got so many. Right. Can I get to the cave? I've got 2 moves. Is it worth just staying still? Not really, it didn't help me before. Although I did spawn a monster on a feature before, didn't it? Oh, I want to get to that cave. Okay. I was thinking, if I'm... No, it's just going to give me that back, isn't it? No point. Okay. I want to go and see whether this guy here is anything useful. Okay. It's a creature. It's number 66. It looks a bit like a rhinoceros to me. Let's see what we got. It's a rhinoceros. Okay. So the rhinoceros will do damage back to me if I roll a 10 or more. But it's weaker than the camel defense-wise. And you get 3 meat and 2 pelts from taking it out, but it's got 3 health. So I'll put that there. I have to fight it, I think, so... Okay, that was bad. Wait. So I can re-roll... re-roll 1 die in combat. So I'll re-roll this one. Bah! When you do... During combat, you may re-roll your die, so I'll just use that one. Oh no, I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can have multiple re-rolls or not. So I won't try that in a minute. Right, so he's going to run away, and he goes and fire, which is down there. Oh, I don't think they can do that actually. Okay, I don't know what happens if they try and run and it's onto an unrevealed space. So that'll be in combat. So retreating. If this would happen, the combatant chooses the space that is adjacent to his. Okay, so it would have ran off onto the other tile. It took me 2 to get to him, didn't it? What I'm going to do is I'm going to make him run to the cave so that I can just jump on him and try and attack him. Okay, so that's the end of this daytime phase again. Another night card, right? Okay. Thirst is water, and I don't have any water, so okay. So I'll take my first damage. So I'll explain damage now. The board here has got these three dials on it, and what I do is I put this one down to thirst. So there's different types of wounds. You can have the hunger, the thirst. You can have this skull, which is physical, and this little one here, which is infection. So you just roll your dial around to it. Now, if you take 4 wounds, then you die. So you put 3 locked into here. The 4th wound just ends the game. You lose. But you can recover these things. If I find water, I can spend an action to drink the water and recover that back to healthy. You can also recover infection using medicine. You can recover hunger using food. And there's no action to recover physical, so if I take lots of physical damage, then I would not be able to heal it, unless there's maybe craftable items or something you can find. But I don't know, I've never seen anything that can heal physical damage so far. Yeah, so water I need to find to cure that, otherwise I've got 3 wounds remaining. And the other thing is, obviously, if you fighting creatures, if they damage you, then that's physical. So it's quite risky to take on creatures because you can't take that much damage. Although when you can start re-rolling and things, it's not necessarily too bad. But we'll see. So that was the thirst, and now I've got light sleep, so I gain 7 stamina, and I'll do my artist's one up to 8. Time passes. Each survivor rolls a die to determine an icon. Okay, so I got a 3, so that is the wildlife. For each die roll, there's a feature token of that type from the supply on each space. So this is basically like a replenish, but randomised for each survivor. Okay. So I got. Oh, do I do it on those? Yeah, you do. So the wildlife one means all these spaces that have wildlife on them gain a new token. It's only 2. And then Eventful Night. Each survivor not at a camp draws a threat card. Okay, so another threat card. Ambush. Spawn 1 monster token in your space. Ah! Okay. Monster token spawning in my space. Oh man, that looks like some sort of puma. Okay, 73. Monster 73 has jumped in on me. Oh man, I'm so close to that cave as well. Okay, 73. This is a starving lion. Oh man. It's a starving lioness. It's got 7 resilience, 5 on the attack, which means it's gonna hurt me. It's got 4 health, and the reward for killing it is 1 meat and 2 pelts. It's spawned. It's gonna attack, so I need to fight it right now, and it's gonna hurt. So let's go. Right, so we've got a 9 and a 10. Now I can re-roll a die. The 10 hurts it, so I'm going to roll a 9 to try and get it down below 5. Because if it's below 5, then it won't. Ah, okay. So that is, I wound the lioness. So I've got the Kapesh, which deals +1 extra damage. Yeah. So 2 damage onto lioness. She's got 4 health, so I need to do another 2 to kill her, but she's wounded me as well, so physical wound there. So I've got 2 wounds left to take. And then didn't beat her, so she's going to run. 10 is off onto the empty board, so I can choose where she goes, and I put her here. Yeah, so if I don't fight, everything will retreat. So I'm okay on that front, unless I go after her again. The only trouble is I put that pig there, and I don't fancy going after the pig now, but I don't really have a choice. So yeah, back to daytime, and I need to go and explore that cave. So I'm going to jump onto the pig and take him on. So that's 1 stamina down to take the pig on. That's this one here. So it can hurt me on a 10 on the red. And of course I rolled a 10. Right, so I'm going to use the staff to roll both dice because I didn't hurt him and he hurt me, so let's redo that. Right, I got 1, no damage either way, and it's running away directly north. Okay, not that bad. So now I'm on number 4. So 1 stamina to investigate number 4, and let's see what happens. I've got 2 number 4 cards. This confuses me. Yeah, I don't really understand this. It's like you get multiple numbers of the same card, but when you go through the deck, you pick one up. Actually, I'm going to look at them both, but I reckon that they're identical. Yeah, they're exactly the same. So it's given me 2 cards that are exactly the same in this pack, and it tells me to put them in. But the thing is, in here, it's really strange because in here it says cards 3 and 5 should be only one of them in the deck. So it says if you've got multiple 3s and 5s, then randomise one and put 1 3 and 1 5 in, which I've done. And I did that exactly the same in the last game I had, where I had 1 of each. But in the last game I checked, and both the 3s and both the 5s were the same. So I don't understand. It's maybe some people can get different 3s and different 5s, and it can change the game a bit, but I didn't. Which is actually it's annoying because like why do I have to? Anyway, carry on. So the shadowy cave is what I've just discovered. The darkness within the cave is of a blessed relief from the heart. Sorry, I'm just reading this totally wrong. The darkness within the cave is a blessed relief from the heat. One of the walls is carved with hieroglyphs. Resolve expression card 5. Now, I've got the stone tablet which says if there's hieroglyphs on the card, I may instead resolve the card 2 numbers higher. May instead. What I'll do is I'll go and do the normal 5, and then I will Mysterious Gem. I'll do it again and go for the 7. Mysterious Gem. Master Key. When you would resolve a card that has a gem icon, you may instead resolve the card 1 number higher. So it's a similar thing to a tablet. It lets me look 1 higher if there's a gem. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 items, still okay. That shadowy cave has been explored now, which means that the first stage of scenario is completed, and I go on to stage 2. So get rid of that card, and let's see what we've got. Okay. The cave is damp and filled with strange white mushrooms. As you shuffle deeper into the cave, the mushrooms seem to glow and your head becomes foggy. At last, you reach a dead end and find the body of a man with a flowing white beard. You quickly search his corpse and find an ID for Emmanuel Dixon. This is clearly as far as Dixon got in his quest for escape, but his hand rests on something that might let you succeed where he failed. The current survivor revolves exploration card 50, which will lead to the end of the game. Okay. Oh, man, I want to see what my hieroglyphs did. Okay. So I go to number 50 here, and it says it's going to lead to the end of the game. Oh, look, there's two 50s. Why are there two 50s? It's annoying. And they're both the same. Why? Okay. Journal. The journal has a map and a simple plan. Load some half-tamed camels with food and water, then set out. Quest item. So this is a quest item. 1 stamina. If I'm in a space with a pair of binoculars icon, that's what those icons on the map are, the red things. If I find binoculars on the map, then remove this card from the game and resolve exploration card 51. Right, so now I need to find a tile that's got a pair of binoculars in a little red circle on it, and then I can move on to another card. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cards. Okay for that. 6 stamina left. My next objective is to go and find some binoculars, but first I'm going to explore this thing again because I could do the hieroglyphs. So I can look at number 7. Oh, balls. There's no card 7 in here. Oh man, that's annoying. Okay, so I've used the stamina to pointlessly try and look for... Well, hang on, let me check that. So K4 said, look at number 5. The stone tablet says you can look at 2 numbers higher. So it should be 7. Yeah, so there's no 7. Alright, so there's no 7, so my hieroglyph interpretation skills fail me. But I'm right next to another tile. So I'm going to flip that one over for another stamina. And dangerously close to a mug. That is a mug of tea. So that come on, that red symbol there with the tea or whatever in, that's what I'm looking for, but only with binoculars for this quest. So I don't know what they do, but I guess they might do things for other people's games potentially. Okay, put a stone down there. Come on, stone down there. Right. Now I have no water. Still, I mean, I am in a desert, so it kind of makes sense, I guess, but I have no water. I'm looking for the binoculars to carry the game on. I'm kind of tooled up a bit, but I would quite like to make some defensive stuff. I can make a shield, but I need wood. I need 1 more wood. So maybe head up here to the wood. Oh, I don't know. So I've got 4 stamina left. Okay, so I'm gonna go 1, 2. I'm gonna flip this over for 3. Oh, I found the binoculars. Right. So stone, wood, and a meat. And what did that say? If you're in a space with the binocular icon, remove this card. Okay. So what did I do there? I went 1, 2, 3. So 1 more stamina left. Got to move on to there, and that's going to move that card on. Where was it? Journal. Right, so a journal gets removed and I go on to card 51. So I didn't realise that stories could be told through the exploration deck as well. So I mean scenario wise. Because I mean 51. So 54, 52, 52 back. Yeah, so there's 2 53s here, 2 55s here, and I reckon they're just all the same. So that frustrates me. Oh, camel. Upgrade. Following the instructions in my journal, you find an ancient structure occupied by half-tamed camel. You'll need food and water for the journey, as well as a way to decipher the old map drawn in the walls. So this thing here says I can use one stamina on a space with a binocular to place any amount of your food and water on this card. When there's food and when there is survivor food and 2 survivor water on this card, resolve number 52. Okay, so I need to find 2 waters. I need to find lots of water. I just don't know how to do that. I mean, there must be a way. There's got to be a way to get water. Okay, so I need to find 2 water and get it on the camel. So I need food, water, camel for escape. But do I need to be on the? If in the space of the binocular, yeah. So I need to come back to the binoculars to place water. Right. Okay. Let's go to the night phase. Spoiled food. Each survivor discards 1 food or 1 meat. Oh no. Okay. So my food's gone too. Oh, alright. Thirst. Each survivor spends 1 water or suffers a thirst damage. Okay, so I'm suffering another thirst damage. I cannot take any more wounds or I'm dead. Sleep. Survivor gains 8 stamina, so I can gain 8, and I'll do my 1 for. Oh, this is not good. Okay. Predators. Each survivor not at a fire and not adjacent to a monster token must spawn 1 monster token adjacent to their space. Okay. Right. So I'm spawning a monster next to me. Here. I'm just gonna have to hope there's water down here. Let me try and gently move that up a bit. Okay. So 9 stamina. I'm going to go to check this cactus thingy. 1, 2. Let's see what we get here. Right, got some more food. Nice. Put on my backpack. Check the rock. So that's how. So 1, 2, 3. Check the rock. I've got 2 bits of rock there. And then I'm going to scout this. I am way out of my comfort zone now. There's wood and wildlife. I don't want to go on there. I mean, I don't know whether you can find water on the wood things. This is it. I don't know where to get water from now. So that's another one, right? So I started on 9. I went 1, 2, 3. So down to 6. I know that I can get more. I need water. How am I going to get water? I don't know. So I know. Oh God, I can make another flint and start another campfire. That might protect me from a few more wounds. I really are. I just, obviously being in the desert, you're bound to need lots of water, aren't you? Oh, I don't know what to do. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so let's come. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, oh man. 13. I don't know what that is. That's going to be bad. No, 13. Oh, hang on. 13 is an exploration card. Okay, so I've gone onto a wildlife thing and I found an exploration card from that, number 13. Oh, Fennec Fox. This creature is mostly ears and adorable fluffy fur. Oh man. It trots along behind you, seemingly glad of your companionship. Oh, it just lets me trade longer distances with other survivors, which I can't do because I'm on my own. So that's great. That's great. Wait, so hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna go 5. Please be some. Okay, more food, and then 6 to flip over this tile here. Please be some water. Okay, there's a pyramid. Pyramid might have hieroglyphs in, which I'd be, excited to check out. Okay, another wildlife there, and another wooden thing there. And back to 0 stamina, so I'm going to have to go to the night again. I'm absolutely going to die now. I know. Okay, each survivor either spends 1 food or suffers 1 damage. I've got food, so good news. Light sleep, so gain 7 plus 1 for being a painter, so 8. Night Stalkers, move each monster token 2 spaces towards the nearest survivor. Okay. So that's gonna hurt me. There's another monster here, isn't there? Yeah, 1, 2. The one there. 2. Spawn 1 monster token in a space adjacent to a tribe. So I'm spawning another monster. So I need to fight this thingy. I'm fighting the starving lioness. And now if I oh god right, so I'll roll both of them. I've got 2 and a 7, so she's hurting me and I'm not hurting her. So re-roll both dice. I hurt her and she doesn't hurt me. I do 1 extra damage. Thank God. 2 damage to a lioness kills her. Sorry, lioness. And I get 1 meat and 2 pelts. So 2 pelts. And go in the backpack. And a meat, which is not cooked, but a meat is a meat. 1, 2, 4. And she's gone. She's gone. She's gone. She's gone. Thank God. Okay. Now, that was it. I'm on 8 stamina. And do I go and explore this pyramid? It doesn't sound like a good idea. I really need to. I need to drink. I need to drink water. Okay. I mean, okay. 1, 2. Let's check out this wood. This wood. Oh man, I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I've got 10 items now. They only put 6 things on there. Okay, fine, whatever. So that was 2, 3, 4. This is not going. Oh, okay. Nothing on there. I mean, I just don't know how you I just don't know how to get water. I just have no idea. Oh, alright, I'll go here. So how does that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, what else? Start on 8, didn't I? What did I gain? I gained 7. Oh, I'm really bad at doing this. So it was on 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm on 2. More food. Right. So now I might as well drop that burial mask because I don't need it. That gets me still on 10 items. Now what? Now what? I mean, I'm quite far away from all the monsters. Oh, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna build a flint for 1 stone, and then use the flint and the wood to make a fire. So I'm not even gonna bother getting it out. I know I can use a stone. No, I can't do that. Where's my stone? Stone tokens. There you go. So stone, and build a campfire here. And then that's it. Night phase again. Water. Okay, I'm lucky because it says water shortage. Each survivor discards 2 water. Now, I can't, but that doesn't do. Each survivor turns 1 of their food, water, or okay. So this is attrition. Each survivor turns 1 of their thirst or hunger or infection damage to physical damage. So 1 of my thirst is now cannot be cured, 2 physical damage. And then each survivor gains only 6 stamina, but I get another 1, so go up to 7. And then move each monster token 3 spaces towards the nearest survivor not at a fire. So there aren't any, I'm not moving them because I'm at a fire. I don't care if that's not the rule. Right. Oh, okay. So This is pretty tense. I'm going to go and reveal the last tile. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's just a wildlifey thing. I mean, I just don't know how do I get water? How am I going to get water? Maybe the beehive has water in. The only thing I can think is maybe because these little cactus plant things might contain water because they look like they look. You might be able to squeeze water out of cactuses or something, but like 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so I go down to 3, don't I? I'm going back to the campfire. Does that make sense? Well, there's plants here though, so not really. 1, 2, 3. There's a monster there. So what? I go there. No, because that could kill me. I mean, that could kill me. Oh, I'm going there. It's a pelt. It's a pelt. It's fine. I don't need it. I'm just gonna leave it there. Okay. So was that? Oh no, so one more. Right. I'm sure that's okay. Okay. Malnourished. Each survivor either suffers one. Okay. So each survivor suffers 1 infection damage or spends 1 food and water. I don't have any water. I can't spend any more damage. So that's it. Game over. I died. My little guy died in the desert. But I mean, he tried. He tried real hard. Yeah. I mean, I felt very much like I was in a desert without water, and I enjoyed that. And I had no idea where to get water from, which, I mean, maybe I should have just been less. But I mean, I didn't spend it on anything apart from what the night cards told me to. But yeah, that's scenario 1. I'm trying to decide whether I replay 1 or whether I go on to 2. I think, Anna died in the desert. And that's what happened to her. Although I don't know whether or not you're supposed to complete them to play the next one. I'm just gonna, I think, go on to 2 and put poor little Anna to rest. Yeah. I really like this. I liked playing the first one with 2 other people, and there was some cooperation there. We did a bit of trading. Someone cooked some meat for me at one point, which was really nice, because I was desperate for food. But yeah, I just ran out of water in the desert, which feels, I guess it feels right. I think it really does capture that survival exploration thing that you want in this type of game quite well. I think it's really intuitive. I know if I want to move or attack or do something, it just makes sense. And I like the way that this deck works, where I've got the hieroglyphs and I could then look at more stuff. I want to look in that pyramid now, but this board is the same for scenario 2, so I'll set the desert up again. I'll shuffle. They'll be random, but it will be the same layout on the same tiles and the same exploration decks, which, I mean, that's not exactly great, but then you think I only saw 2 bits of wildlife in quite a big deck and I only saw a few monsters, so the game could be quite different. Also, just looking at this now, just in terms of uniqueness, this desert is different to the desert in my other box. There's different tiles here for sure. There was a tree, like an oasis tree, in my other game where you could go and explore as a feature, and you could get water from it. You could find a canteen on it. And that's not here. And I don't know. I don't think we found the pyramid. If there was a pyramid, I'm not sure there was a pyramid. But I did find the stone to get some hieroglyphs. But I found that from the beehive when I played in the first game. So differences. The crafting things, there's completely different. I mean, I'm pretty sure that those projects are just a totally different project deck and different items. which means you need different resources. So I think that's, again, it's different. It means you have to play these campaigns with different strategies. So it does seem, yeah, like so far, I'm quite impressed with how different this was to the other game. Yeah, so what I'll do is I'll set up for scenario 2 at some point. I'm not going to do it tonight now, so it'll be another day, and play through that one on the desert. And then what I might do after doing that is I might get the other desert out and have a proper like compare and see. Just I'll do that in a separate sort of video of just a comparison. But yeah, I hope that this video was good. I hope that people felt as tense as I did doing that, because that was really good. And I hope I'll see you guys next time.